Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing today? What are y'all up to? Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Sharise Johnson Moore here. And it's time for Saturday Book Talk Day. And my name is Sharise N. Johnson Moore, and I am the owner of Sharise N. Johnson Moore, LLC, publishing consultant and visibility coach. I help entrepreneurs, faith-based leaders, authors, creatives be seen, heard, and known. And let's get the coins, okay? Let's get that money, okay? So, I love teaching. I love, just teaching authors, entrepreneurs how to be visible. A whole lot of times, as entrepreneurs, we sometimes as entrepreneurs, we are so busy. We're so busy, chasing the bag, and we got to make the money. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but it's certain ways you could do it where you could stay out of people's DMs. Okay, you could stay out of people's DM boxes. At soliciting your services. And I have learned in my years of being hello, hi, how you doing? Sewing, how you doing? Let's see. Brittany, how you doing? Hello, thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate you. My name is Sharise Johnson Moore, and I'm here for my Saturday Book Talk Day. Okay. And I have created a segment of days where I assist, I help, advice for those that may need it in their business. So each day I come on live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday is Education Day. Tuesday is Storytelling Day. Wednesday is maybe an education day for authors or entrepreneurs, depends on what the topic is. Hello, how you doing? Tisha, how you doing? Hi, Miss Ebony, how are you doing today? And Thursday is, I gotta think of what Thursday is. I do different day. I do 7 days a week, but I come in and talk about different things on each day. No topic is the same. Hello, Robert. How you doing? Hello. Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate you. And so, it is a thing where I do different topics for different days. And today is Saturday Book Talk Day. Thursday is it's a day where we set aside, Thursday is something different. Friday is Entrepreneur Corners Day, where I let entrepreneurs come on stage and talk about their business, ask me questions, things of that nature pertaining to their business. They need help, they need assistance. And okay, I want to make sure my sound was up. Okay, so Friday's Entrepreneur Day, Saturday is Saturday Book Talk Day, and Sunday is Coming to Loving Yourself Day, where I do a live reading out of my book entitled Coming to Loving Yourself. Hello, Dr. Ben, how are you doing today? Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate you. Hello. Hello, Shy, how you doing? Hello, thank you for coming in. So like I said, today is Saturday. So Saturday is Saturday Book Talk Day. That's where I'll pick a topic for authors for the first hour to talk about, or you come in and you have questions about being an author, a published author, aspiring author. No question is off limits. So when it comes to publishing and getting to the next point or beyond the book, what comes after you publish the book. So that's what today is. And I just wanted to come in and come and talk to y'all for about an hour, and then we have a special guest at 7. And the special guest at 7, will be Miss Sierra, Dr. Audrey Blake. Dr. Audrey Blake will be our special guest at 7 o'clock. Okay? So, how is everyone doing today? I'm going to pull y'all a little closer to me so I can really read this screen because I'm on my phone right now. Hey, August Hype. How you doing today, baby? Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. So, do I have any aspiring authors, first-time authors, or experienced authors in this room as of now? If you're an aspiring author, put a 1 in the chat. If you're a first-time author, put 2 in the chat. If you are an experienced author, put 3 in the chat. Hey, Gabby, how you doing? Hello. Thank y'all for coming in. I greatly appreciate you. So, today, hey, how you doing? Hazim, how you doing, Hazim? How are you doing? Hello. Thank you for coming in. I greatly appreciate everyone coming in today. So, your first time here, put a 1 in the chat. Then, we'll try to, we'll get to know one another so you can come in here on a regular basis. I teach. I am a author. I've had my business for 9 years, and really 10. It'll be 10 years in July. I had my business. And so, hey, A, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate you. And hey, Global Gospel, how are you doing? Thank you for the heartbeat. I greatly appreciate it. So, like I said, I've had my business for 9 years, be 10 years next month. And I have learned that I wanted to share my knowledge of being a published author with all those that are thinking about writing, that are thinking, they've already published their books and they're kind of stuck. They're stuck about what to do next. And experienced authors. And I wanted them to come, the experienced authors, wanted them to come and share their story on BookTok Day. That have been around for a minute and have published their books and got a couple of books under their belt, and come and share their experience with us, right? So, like I said, I have created several ways in the past of how people can, how authors can be seen. I had a show back in the day called Authors Extra Sunday. And if you would like to catch some of those replays, you can go to my YT page. Okay. Go to the link tree in my profile, and you can go and click on my YT channel. Okay. As, you can go and watch the replays of everything I've done. From beginning of my career, me starting a business, to you might see some things up there before I started my business. So like me singing, I'm a gospel artist and a speaker. I'm a minister as well. So I had this show back in the day where it was called Morning Word and Worship. And that is also on my YT channel, where I would take a Bible verse, a scripture from the Bible, and give you words to inspire you for the day. Okay, called it Morning Word and Worship. I produce so many, virtual shows. And now, I also have a podcast. The podcast is entitled The More Connection. And I had a podcast before this new podcast called Sharise Johnson Moore's Podcast. That is also on the spot. You can go check that out on the spot. That link is also available in the Linktree link in my profile. Right? Hello. How you doing, Paul? How you doing today? Hey, Miss Global Gospel, how y'all doing today? So, what you up to today, Miss Carmelita? How you doing, baby? Paul, is this your? I'm great. Paul, is this your first time being in my live? You can put a 1 in the chat. If it's not your first time, you put 2. Okay, all right. Thank you and welcome. welcome everyone uh my live. My name is Sharise Johnson Moore, and I am the owner of Sharise and Johnson Moore LLC. I am the owner of Sharise and Johnson Moore LLC, publishing consultant, visibility coach. So if you need help with publishing, I can help you with that. If you need help being seen, heard, and known, visibility, I can help you with that. I also have media interview services available. One of the shows, I have a show entitled Entrepreneur Corners Live, which you can watch in a replay on my YT channel, right? So I want to welcome everyone in. Today. So I wanted to go in to, let's see, let me go to my projects. Today we're going to talk about, some things about my program called Publish Now What. Okay? It's a program that I established as a course. It's a course I established. Hello, Reed. How you doing? Hello, thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate you. All right. Okay, so this how it works in my room. You're a creator. All right, and thank you for coming. Thank you for following me. Okay, so Reed, what would you like to talk about? Because when I have people on, it's normally on Friday, so they can talk about what they do, if they're entrepreneurs, what they do, what products and services they sell. That is the day I bring people up on Fridays. Okay, so if you could give me an understanding of what you do, a creator of what? Just wanted. Okay, well, we could talk in the DM, okay? I want to let every man know in this live. I'm married with 3 grown children, and I use this app specifically to acquire clients, find sponsors for my business, sell my products and services, and also gain subscribers for here, my YouTube channel, and my podcast. This is the purpose of me coming and using social media. Okay? So, like I said, I own a business. I'm a publishing consultant, visibility coach, and I help entrepreneurs, faith-based leaders, authors, creatives be seen, heard, and known. And that is what that's what I'm about. I don't use this app to have private conversations outside of my marriage unless it's about business. Okay, unless my services can benefit you as a entrepreneur, creative, author, faith-based leader, things of that nature. Because I have found it to be a problem to have conversations outside of me and my husband's relationship. So that's why I stick with what I do. Okay. Now I don't use that to talk outside of my marriage about idle conversation. It's got to be on business only. If I talk to a man outside of my relationship with my husband, it has to be business, not personal. Okay. So I'm just specifying that. Yeah. So I have a program. It's called, it's called Publish Now What. And Publish Now What is a transformational program that I have created, designed to help authors move beyond simply publishing a book, to step into, building your brand, business, and having lasting impact. Many authors spend months or years writing and publishing their books, only to find themselves saying, what's next, right? And this program answers the question. Hey, how you doing, Dr. Audrey? How you doing? Thank you for coming in. I greatly appreciate you, and thank you for the rose. I greatly appreciate you. So, with Publish Now What, it equips authors with the tools, strategies and confidence needed to leverage their books as powerful assets for visibility, influence, income, and opportunities. Whether you're a first-time author or a seasoned writer, this program helps you create a clear roadmap to maximizing the value of your book long after launch day. Okay? So that is my program. A course I created called Publish Now What. And if you are interested in signing up for that course, reach out to me in my DM for authors that need help with their little guidance and help with trying to be seen, heard, and known. As an author, we may know some things in the beginning, or someone has to teach us, but we never stop learning. We never stop learning as authors because there's always something new to learn, especially when it comes to your marketing and advertising and how, you can improve your presentation when you are approached by others that may want to interview you, that may want to have you on a podcast, that may want to have you, come on, like I asked authors to come on Saturday Book Talk Day. So we could talk about their books, talk about the things that they need, to be seen, heard, and known, and how to make sales. It's like, when I first became an author, I didn't know nothing. I was green, okay? Green, Jolly Green, and Jolly Green Giant, okay? But I had to learn those specifics of how to become a profitable author, okay? Well, and I found a lot of profit when I didn't just limit myself to an ebook. Hey, how you doing? Hello, thank you. I found myself more profitable when I did not limit myself to just an ebook on the Zon, okay? I published my book in paperback and an ebook. And a lot of people don't think that, I'll say authors don't think that they're worthy of the paperback. A lot of people still buy paperback books, okay? A lot of people still buy paperback books. You go to vendors events, you go to, I see a lot of authors here on this app that continuously talk about their books and they're in paperback, and they make great sales. If you are not using TT to utilize your sales for your book, you are leaving money on the table. Okay, you're leaving money on the table. Okay, and that's something I don't think, I don't think we want to do. Leave money on the table. And if you do not have a strategy behind how you're going to advertise and market your book, I have some resources available like Publish Now What, 90 Ways to Sell a Book. That's a PDF. I have pre and post publishing strategies. Have that. That's a PDF. I have the, how to create your business entity. That is where I kind of start authors at, because I find a lot of authors have not been taught that you have to have a budget and a strategy and a goal for your book. That would help you a lot. Hello. Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate everyone coming in. Hello, hi, how are you doing? Hello, thank you. So I also have that author's budget blueprint. I also have that. So all these things I am talking about, they are available in my link tree. I have the how to become a vendor, how to, what to do at vendor events. So that's a PDF. I have a lot of stuff. And all the things I talk about are inside the course. Now, if you sign up for the course, okay, it's evergreen. You can be in the course as long as you want. It's called Publish Now What. you can enroll in the course and take your time with the course, okay? Um, okay, and the opening cost of that is $197. Okay, $197 for unlimited use of. You can go and create your profile. You can go ahead and you can sign up for the course, and you have unlimited access to it. Okay, it's a course called Publish Now What. If you are interested in this course, please reach out to me in my DM, and we will sit down and talk about what's all entailed in the course. Okay, or you could set up a free one-on-one meeting with me, which lasts about an hour, and we could sit down and get you enrolled, get you details, things that you need as an author, all the details about the course, Publish Now What course, and what it entails. Okay, so and I created the course, but I created that course because I got frustrated. I got frustrated with finding authors that was like, look, I don't know what to do next. I don't know what to do after publishing. I didn't know I had to do this. I didn't know I had to do that. When I bring up things that authors, that authors need to do before they publish and while they're waiting on their book to come to them, whether it's paperback or ebook, while they're waiting on the copyright and all that, and the ISBN number, stuff like that. I just got frustrated with getting asked the same question. What do I do now after I publish this book? So I sat down and put all my years of experience, 9 years of experience. I have 4 books under my belt. I'm working on my 5th book now. And I just got I got tired of being frustrated. So I created the course for authors that you may not need the budget part. You may need to know, okay, how to get your audience, what you do, how do you find your audience? Some things in the course talk about, how to become vendors at vendor events. I talk about what things you can create after you publish your book. I also go into, I would say the presentation of you. Okay, like if I'm sitting at my desk, right? And say I am an author and I have a banner and the banner sits behind me. I'm just giving you an example. All my stuff downstairs. I'm upstairs right now. But I have a banner, I have a table, I have my banner, I have all my anesthetics, as they call it, sitting behind me. Or if I was sitting at a vendor's table, I want the same presentation if I was trying to sell my book on a live broadcast. I'm doing great. How you doing? I'm doing marvelous. Thank you so much for coming in. I greatly appreciate everyone coming in. How is everyone doing? My name is Sharise N. Johnson Moore, and I am the owner of Sharise N. Johnson Moore, LLC, publishing consultant and visibility coach. I am from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Where are you from? I'm from Uniontown, Pennsylvania, in the United States of America. So, where are you from? Thank you for coming in. I greatly appreciate you. All right, from Nigeria. Thank you for joining me. Nice meeting you too. So that's what I give I have. That's what I have to offer here in my space, and to. Okay, all right. Thank you for following me. I greatly appreciate it. Okay. So when you follow, come on, y'all following, and I greatly appreciate your support. Now it's time to give your daily heartbeat. That means you press that button beside my name again, and it'll show you how to give gifts. It'll show you how to support the live. You can get credit. Did you know when you use TikTok that you can get credit? You can get points for when you give somebody a comment, when you give them a heartbeat, when you give them gifts, things of that nature. All of it adds up for you. and it helps with your ranking of people seeing you on the FYP on the for you page. So it does help. Um, I just want to put that out there, to help y'all, help the new people, help the new followers in my room. Uh-oh. Okay, I was trying to do this to see what was up. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing today? Hello. Hello. Okay, so this is why I have to this is what I do in my room. I do hey Peggy, how you doing? I always like to screen people before I bring people up to my page. I know that may be kind of, and that's the way I do. Hey, Global, how you doing, baby? I always try to screen people before I bring them up to my page, my platform. I do that a lot because how can I say this? I'm very particular about who I deal with in this internet space. That's what I do, right? Now, as far as I'm concerned, is that I'm strictly I use these apps with an intention. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. The intentions of how you're going to use your apps, right? And be intentional about it. Put a plan together of how you may want to use your app to bring visibility to what you do. Okay. I know it's a lot of people on this app that just use it to, they don't, have fun, and, they're jumping from one person page to another page and following everybody and trying to get numbers, but they really have no intentional strategy of what they're doing. Well, I'm not one of those. Okay. What I do is I talk about my business. That's what I do. I talk about my business all the time. And that's all you're going to hear from me. Advice about business, about publishing, about, ain't nothing wrong with meeting new people. But see, the thing is, when you're intentional about what your intentions is, it makes it very, I create boundaries around what I do. Okay. I don't come up here to shuck and jive, kick the bobo, none of that, right? I got a business, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with that, and that's cool, right? Hello, Anna, how you doing? Thank you so much for coming in. I greatly appreciate it. And the thing of it is, I'm doing great. How are you? I'm doing great. Nice meeting you. What I do, I always do it for clients. I use this app to intentionally find clients or to advise entrepreneurs on what to do next in their business. Okay? That is what I do. Okay, did I turn that off? Oh my God. All right, I had to pause y'all for a minute. Okay, so what I am new live host Girly. How we doing? Thank you. I greatly appreciate you being here. And nice meeting you. And so, like I said, what I do, I have intention behind it. And I love what I do. I love helping authors. I love helping authors through the process of the book is an idea. You might, have an idea. Okay, well, I got this idea, this concept about, I want to write this book about this topic. And, and so we go through if that's the process where you need, a whole workup, you need everything from the beginning concept to the publishing, marketing, and advertising. We have that. I also have that service. I also help if you need help with just your marketing. I'm a wide range of services when it comes to publishing. So nothing is off limits to me when it comes to publishing. Okay. I also have my virtual shows I have. So when I'm using the apps, it's not for fun, it's for business. And I like meeting new people. Yes, that's cool. That's all cool. It's all cool about meeting new people. But I'm very picky about who I have in my circle as on my friend list on these apps. I'm just putting that out there. So let's see, 6:30. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions about publishing, about visibility? You have any questions about anything? Hey, Peggy. Peggy, you don't got no questions? Okay. So when you gonna go live about your, talking about your book, your second book you published? Yeah, Auntie Ree gonna ask you that question, right? Okay, all right. Okay, I get it. I get it. I understand. Cooking dinner. I know that's right. Day Saturday, people chilling, people, they're doing what they do, and, waiting on author copies. Okay, all right. Okay. Did you know that you could go live on your computer like I do? You can go live on your computer and put the book cover in an image, a side image on in the live. If you use the computer version of TikTok, the TikTok Live Center. Okay, you don't have to wait on your author copies. Hey Judy, how are you doing today? Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate you. Okay. So yeah, like I said, that's how I do my live. Sometimes when I want to talk about my book, I can put my book cover beside my face in the live on my computer. That's how you can see all those things like the logo and the goals and stuff for the live and stuff like that. So yes, we have to as authors, we have to learn so many things to make ourselves visible. And we have to set out a time. Okay, all right. Okay, Peggy. If it take you one day to learn one thing, take one day to learn one thing. As authors, we always got to be open to learning new things. And we can't be scared. We cannot be scared we cannot be scared to learn new things. We cannot, that's why it's good to, when I first started using this app, I ain't know nothing about this app. I ain't know what I was doing. I ain't know nothing, right? Oh, okay. All right, cool. So, okay. So, I put my services in the bottom of the chat. I hope that explains so I find the best way to go. Okay, yeah. So my thing is I'll be ready for you, Peggy. I'll be ready, okay? So my thing is, when I decided to use this app, I got to the point where I want to learn. When I first started, I want to learn all I could about the app, right? And I start going into rooms that taught. I went into rooms and that taught how to use TikTok. Okay, because I didn't want to start using no app and I don't know what's going on and all this and this and the other. And they have a lot of ways. They have a lot. TT has a lot of ways for you to make money up here. Okay, so don't just think of it as another app. TT is kind of beyond. TT is beyond FB, IG, and and YT. Okay, because they allow you to start making income from day one. Okay, so never despise small beginnings. Okay, learn all you can about this app because this app can make you money, and as they say, when you gotta be careful about how much you spending and things of that nature. You can also spend a lot of money up here. I had to learn that the hard way when I first started using this app, where you go into everybody's room, and I was like, I'm going in their room and I'm spending money, but then I'm sitting there like, well, I mean, so I had to come in and learn, and what I learned is I had to have a boundary of how much I was going to spend a week in somebody's room or watching these lives. Okay, and I've even had when I first started using this app, I realized some people had been up here for years since the app first started. And they got into a routine of expecting everybody to come in their room to spend money. Some creators are like that. Some live broadcasters are like that. And some are not as pushy. Okay. And I guess the one I was hooked up to, the one I was really watching, she blocked me one day. I went in her room and she blocked me. I couldn't go in her room anymore. And I was like, why is that? And so I had found out later that this is what they do. If you have a certain crowd and you want to make a certain amount of money, and people that come into your room that are not spending any money, they kind of cut them off. Like, where they're coming in, harassing the creator. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do that. You sure can. Yep. Start going, you got an account over there, go ahead, start doing lives or go into other people's rooms and, they can give, you can get income from over there too. So, and make these apps work for you. Make these apps work for you. I had to, I had to have an understanding of, I had to learn how to make these apps, all of the apps, work for me where I was making income. And not me going in spending a bunch of money on other people that were not supporting me when I went live. See, that's what I had to learn too. Hey, Hope, how you doing? I had to learn that if you want me to come into your live all the time, you sending me, likes, and you sending me, I'm live. And then when I go live and I don't see you in my live, but I support you, and I go in there, I've learned the rules. You go into somebody's room, you get them. If you're not following them, you follow them. And then after you follow them, then you give them a heart me. You send them a comment, you get credit for that. And you also have rankings in the room. You also increase your rankings in their room when you go in there and you participate in their room. Okay, but it can't be one way. It can't be one-sided. And I had to learn that using this app. I had to learn, look, why I'm always in your room and you don't never come to mine. Okay, so I was like, no, I pass. And it is a thing I've also learned being here in this on this app is when people got a lot of followers and they ain't following nobody, don't mess with them. Cause that shows that it's all about them. It's not, people make their money. Yeah. You know, it's a thing of when you got when a person has a lot of followers, but they're not following anybody, that shows that they're selfish. They're not going to support anybody. That means they're not supporting anybody. They come in with the attention of, I want all the attention on me, and I'm not going to support you at all. Those kind of people I stay away from. I don't follow them. I block them. Okay. Because see what I do, it, you have to know your value. You have to know your value as a person when you get on these apps. You got to know your value and you got to know your worth. You know what you're worth, and you have to, like I said, set boundaries with people, because just like earlier, we have people come in. We have people that come in and they want you to bring them up and talk and all, and you bring them up and they ask you personal questions. I want to get to know you. Do you got a man? I'm trying to find me somebody to be with. No, those kind of conversations I stay away from because I don't want them problems. Okay. And I don't know if they're scammers. I don't know, they get up here begging. You get a lot of them kind of followers where they begging for attention and then they want to be in your inbox having a conversation all day. No, I ain't doing that. If we ain't talking about business, I don't want to talk. Okay. If this not about business, why are we talking? That's my whole mindset sometimes. That's my mindset. I had to come to that rationalization, and I don't want to sit in someone's room and it's all about them. It's all about them. It's all, okay, look, that's cool, but teach me something. I'm here to learn. Teach me something. Teach me about TikTok. Teach me about selling. Teach me about how to fix my services. Teach me what I'm supposed to do. Teach me how to battle. I ain't learned how to battle up here yet. Teach me something. I want to learn. I'm from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. And where are you from, Miss Pretty? How are you doing today? I teach authors. I'm more of a learner type person. I like to learn. I like to, learn new things. I'm a learner, I'm doing fine. How you doing? So I'm a learner. I like to go and learn new things. And I also teach. So it's not just one way all the time where I'm sitting there, supporting, but then I'm not, doing my own thing. You have to have your own mindset when you have to have a very focused mindset when you are using these apps. Yeah, it is. It is that. Okay. Um, okay. So I've had to learn how to also control what I do in this room and who's in this room. That's another thing that you will learn here on NTT. Okay. I have had I say this, you gotta beware of the fake impersonators of these famous people on this app. I'm gonna put it straight out to you, right? Just like we had this person here. We had this person here, and let's see. Okay. Okay, so like I said, we had this person here, and they want to come in and claim to be Elon Musk. and they want to come in other people's pages. They ain't got but 5 followers. They ain't have but what? What they have? They had 5 followers and following 7. That's a brand new account, and it is considered to me someone impersonating somebody. Be very careful about those kind of people that come into your lives. Okay? Where they ain't got that many people, and now all of a sudden they want to send you to a link and all this. No. You only know me from a can of paint, and you know, get to know the people that come into your lives. Get to know them. Sit down, have a conversation with them. Find out where their heads is at. Because it's just too much scamming and gaming and fakeness going on, you know. And if you don't have okay, and if you don't have a profile picture, there's another thing I want to warn y'all of. If you don't have a profile picture, put one in there in order for me to understand you are a person, because you could be considered a bot. Okay? Now, Zelger Barnizzi. Okay. If you are one of his friends, please, you know, if you know, I don't have time for that in my page. How you doing? Hello, Minister of Enjoyment. How are you doing today? Thank you for joining my live. My name is Sharise Johnson Moore, and I am the owner of Sharise and Johnson Moore LLC. I'm a publishing consultant, visibility coach, and I use this app intentionally to acquire clients, find sponsors for my business, sell my products and services, and to teach authors, entrepreneurs, faith-based leaders how to be seen, heard, and known, and how to make money. Okay? Hey, Courtney, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate you. Okay? Y'all put some pictures to your profiles. Okay? Y'all put some pictures to your profiles. That keeps you from being... When you have a picture in your profile, it gives a person a sense that you are a real person. Okay? It gives the person a sense that you are a real person. Okay? And for you to jump in and out, you know, when you jump in and out of other people's broadcasts, that are also a sign that you may be trolling. Okay? I don't deal with trolls, okay? I don't deal with people trolling in my live broadcast, soliciting and all that. If you have not sat down and talked to me, and I have not given a person specific instructions to talk about their business in my broadcast, okay, that means there's none of that in my broadcast. Unless I asked you to put the information there, okay? People have no manners now these days. They think they can go in and out of other people's broadcasts and say anything and do anything. And that ain't happening over here. Okay. Amanda, how are you doing today? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me see something. Okay, Amanda, what do you do? What do you do? See, that's okay. There's another thing I'm gonna explain about how I am. I don't just follow anybody. I don't follow anybody. You have to, you know, I gotta look at your page and see what you do and how you present yourself. You know, I'm really an investigated person, and I just don't, how can I say, I support people that support me. Okay? Now, I don't just follow anybody, because I used to do that when I first got on the app, and it got on my nerves, where I would follow any and everybody trying to get numbers. I didn't understand that time. But now I understand that I got to be picky and choosy about who I follow and who following me, because everybody don't have no good intentions. Everybody don't have no good intentions when they come into your lives or they follow you. You know, Yeah, I mean, that's how I am. So I will keep you, I'll check you out, okay, Amanda? I'll check you out. All right. I gotta check people out before I accept other people's mess. Cause it's like I've been getting a lot of um I've been getting a lot of Africans in my room, okay? What empowerment event? Okay, if you talking about the I Am Enough Empowerment Expo, hey, Lily, how you doing? Empowerment Expo, that happened May the 24th, honey. That empowerment, I went there and came back. Yeah, that was May the 24th. Okay, that event. I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. My special guest we have this evening is Miss Dr. Audrey Blake. Okay, Blake. Her name is Audrey Blake, and Dr. Audrey Blake, and the title of her book is. Let me go back over here. Why I did that? Okay, go to TikTok info. Saturday. They don't always keep notes about my lives. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, that group, the Wake Up Winning, yes. We did that on the 24th of May. Okay, so join us for an inspiring evening with special guest author Dr. Audrey Blake as we discuss her captivating novel, Dying to Wake Up. Okay, we start in a few minutes at 7 o'clock, and we're going to ask her some inspiration behind the book. We're going to ask her writing, her writing and publishing journey. We're going to ask her about that. We're going to ask her about lessons on resilience and personal growth. And, we're going to ask her a couple of questions. We're going to do a whole full interview. Okay, full interview. Okay, so for those that may want to go live, I'm going to give you this. Hello, how are you doing today? For those that want to go live, have your own live broadcast, you must have at least 1,000 followers in order to go live. Okay. And if someone brings you in their room and you don't have 1,000 followers, that means you can still come up live, but you're gonna have an audio. You're just gonna see a profile picture and that's it. Okay. So that's what happens with that. If you want to go live, you gotta get followers. You gotta get to know people and find people. This is the best way you can find followers. I give y'all this advice. Find people that you have interest in what they're doing or what they are about. I had to learn this. I like to learn about TikTok. I like to learn about business. I like to learn about who other businesses, things like that, because I'm in media. And they fit in a category for me where I could have them as a guest on my show, have them a guest up here, have them a guest on Friday show called Freedom Friday. Because I like giving other people exposure. Yeah. And the thing is that follow other authors. That's how I'm doing it now. They gotta fit in a certain category for me to follow them. They gotta be an entrepreneur. Okay, I know that's a wide range of topics, right? They gotta be authors. They have to be they may, have own businesses, business accounts, authors, faith-based leaders, or creatives, like you doing graphics or website development or kind of, that kind of thing. You creating stuff all the time, creatives. I have a particular, I'm speaking for me. I follow those categories. I don't follow, I don't follow accounts where people just posing all the time and all you see is a picture of them and they modeling. And look, that ain't for me. That ain't. You got to be doing something for me to be following you. Okay, you got to be doing something. That's my requirement. That's how I make it for me. It got to be doing something productive. Productive, doing something positive. Doing positive things, helping other people. Something positive. I'm not following nobody's foolishness. I'm not, I don't follow foolishness. I'll be 55 next month. So you know what that means. Person is 55. They ain't putting up with a lot of foolishness. Okay? I don't put up with a lot of foolishness. I done been there, done that. I like people doing positive stuff, putting out positivity. If you ever look at my page, you will notice that I put out a verse every day, a Bible verse. I'm a minister. That's gonna come first for me. My ministry comes first. Even before authorship. Okay, because if it weren't for God, I wouldn't be no author. Okay, so that's how that roll. Okay, I put out positive stuff. And I look for those that I can support in that manner if they're doing the same thing too. But it can't be, like I said, it can't be no one-way deal. I don't do one-way stuff. Okay, it got to be reciprocity in the relationship. Reciprocity, that means everybody's doing equal. Okay, equal for each other. I don't like one-way relationships where it's all about me, do for me, gotta be about me. No? Cause what do I look like doing that? Hey, it gotta be some straight up, gotta be, and then we could collaborate, make money together, do some things together. And I'll say this, a lot of people don't see that. Even though they're entrepreneurs, a lot of them don't see that. It's called reciprocity. It's all about give me, do for me, look at me, follow me. No. And you don't come in my live either. Ain't nobody got time for that. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Okay, so I'm waiting on Miss Audrey Blake to come back. Her interview starts in 1 minute. And let me see. No. Where is it at? I is trying to follow. Trying to see something. Nope. I'm trying to see if she'll come back in. Oh, she did not go out. It's too much competition nowadays. No, it's not. No, it's not, Peggy. No, it's not. It's not no competition. No. See, you just have to learn your audience. You have to learn the people that you want to deal with. You can't deal with everybody. I mean, yeah, it's business, but does that business, look at it like this, Peggy. We gonna keep talking because I was waiting on Homegirl, and we're gonna talk till she come back in. Okay. Yeah, here she go. Yes, ma'am, I can see you. I sent you a request. Books to inspire. How are you doing today, baby? How you doing? Okay, for those that are in the audience, please tap the screen, please. I need y'all to please tap the screen. Please tap the screen. Hey, Dr. Audrey.
Okay, let me get my camera there. Sorry about that.
Okay, well, I know one thing is that if you do not have 1,000 1,000 followers, it won't let you have a face. It won't let you do like my side, but you'll have a profile picture there, and that's what I see.
That's why. Okay,
Yes,
well,
ma'am.
Sorry about that. I'm usually pretty savvy at these things, but I was trying to do it from my desktop, but that didn't work. So,
Okay.
all right.
All right. All right. So we have Dr. Audrey Blake joining us for Saturday Book Talk Day. And title of her book is Dying to Wake Up. Okay. It is meet Shelly, a 34-year-old executive who is the rock of everyone around her. She appears to have it all except true love. When she finally meets the man of her dreams, one unexpected phone call changes everything. Dying to Wake Up is a powerful story of life, love, romance, resilience, and discovery, strength through its unexpected twists and turns. All right, okay. All right, hey. Say, you was determined. Okay, you determined, huh? You were determined. Amen.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, so Miss Dr. Audrey, can you give us a background
You can
about
just call me Audrey.
Oh, okay, Miss Audrey, how you doing? Audrey, can you give us a background of who you are, where you're from, and what propelled you to write this book? And is it your first time being a published author?
Okay, well, it's actually not my first time, but it is my first novel. So I'm excited about that. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, native of South Carolina, but I've been in Atlanta for quite a while. I'm a life coach as well, and I wear a lot of hats. But my passion is writing. It's speaking. And so my first book was a self-help book. And none of my books, other than this ebook, has been. So yes, this is my first novel, and I love writing, and I used to do plays and skits back in my 20s. And so I wrote this novel hoping that it would really help a lot of people and we can talk about some significant topics that people deal with.
Uh-huh. Okay. So in this book, how long did it take you to develop and bring it to publication?
I would say a couple of years, probably 2 years. But this book has been through a metamorphosis because I actually wrote it initially in 2014. I put it on Amazon and I snatched it back off because I wanted to put more into it. And then I re-released it after COVID. So, and then the ebook is actually a second attempt, or maybe third, because I didn't have a great publisher, I didn't have a great editor, and so I wanted to rectify that.
Oh, okay. Okay. I understand. And with this book, do you plan on turning it into a paperback?
It actually is. I did the paperback. So I did an ebook on Amazon. I snatched it off. I rewrote, I added to it and made it a paperback. I guess this is a life lesson for others. When you get these, it's telling me, I don't know why it's telling me this, but it's a life lesson for others because when you get these vanity publishers that aren't necessarily up to par, they didn't really do the best job. I sold quite a few books to family and friends. So I hope I answered your question.
So, in the process of writing your book, you know, how did you come up with the thought process of what you wanted to write?
Well, I feel that, in my opinion, that authors put a bit of themselves into their writing, and so like I said, I used to do skits and plays, and I really plan for this to be a series one day. Somehow, I'm going to get connected. I believe for that I'll connect with Devon Franklin or Tyler or somebody, but or Miss Sharise, who knows,
Right.
But I wrote it almost as like a screenplay because I'd never done it, and so the characters, they're bits and pieces of me actually sprinkled in the character, but not all of them. And then, of course, the fiction allows you the liberties to exaggerate and imagine. And so I thought about, what about a young lady who really wants true love and has had a bunch of counterfeits? Because I write a lot about love.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so that's what kind of gave me. But then what if she finds this true love, but at the same time, something catastrophic is happening in her life?
Yeah.
That, you know, you finally get what you want, but now you're dealing with something else.
Right? It says, if it ain't one thing, it's another, right?
Yes, exactly.
You know. And what has been the feedback from your book? What has been the feedback you've gotten from people purchasing your book?
People have told me things like they couldn't put the book down. I've been to a few book clubs, and they were like, when are you going to write the next book? Because I wrote it in a way that there's got to be a sequel. I didn't give a cliffhanger. Not really. I mean, I answered some things, but there's some other things that are still outstanding.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be it'll be another series to this book, right?
Yes, definitely.
So, have you started on writing the series, the second part?
I have, and as I'm doing, you may know I've sometimes come on live and start reading pieces of it to people, and as I'm talking about it, it's coming to me to expand on some of the characters, particularly some of the male characters in the book. Like there's a brother who is getting his life back on track after addiction, and nobody really believes him because he lies so much about so many things.
Right. Yeah.
They're starting to see that he really is changing. So I'd like to explore that a little bit more, as well as the father. It's a juicy part with the pastor father who is separated from his wife and has another love interest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that should be really, really, that's really interesting. And with that, do you, do a lot of, how you said, marketing and advertisement for the book?
That's what I'm working on. And maybe that's why we cross paths. I will be the first to say what I'm good at and the first to admit what I'm just not as strong at. I'm a talker, I'm a speaker, but somehow, so my therapist said to me, Miss Blake, I read your book, it's great. You just need it marketed. Nobody knows about it, or just a few people, your family and friends, they buy a few copies. And you appreciate their support, but it's not out there like it should be. And I want to say this real quick. Shelly, who's the main character, she does find her purpose in life.
Okay. So, how did you come up with the character, Shelly?
I think I wrote a little bit about myself. I'm not ready to do my memoir yet, which one day is going to be a real interesting story because I was adopted and found my family, and I have lots of things that have happened. So I wasn't ready to put it all out there like that. So I wrote some of it in her character, but again, it's fictional, so not all of it is really me.
Oh, okay. All right. So, as far as hold on for a minute. Let me find something.
I'm going to put this a little bit so y'all can see it. And I appreciate you having me on today. I'm always excited to talk about book and any topic.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome anytime, baby. Anytime. Here it is. I always have my little note sitting here.
Can I add one thing I just thought about, if you don't mind?
Go ahead, baby.
So like I said, this wasn't my first book. My first book was a self-help book about relationships. But I found that sometimes people won't buy self-help books because you got to realize you need some help. So
they might be dodging that topic, right?
Yeah. So I hate to admit it, but my novel is a self-help book in disguise.
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping people see the characters and say, I'm in that situation.
Right. Be like, oh, wait a minute, So, um, in the process of writing your book, have you been asked a question about other authors? Can you help them write theirs?
I actually have helped at least one other author. I'm a life coach, so that was one of the things when I was doing more life coaching clients.
Uh-huh.
I was helping somebody write a book, but it was a children's book.
Oh,
So we've been working on that together.
oh, okay. All right. All
And I've
right.
given out a lot of advice. I tell people just flow, just start writing. You just
Yeah, yeah. That's something that I've learned from my first book entitled Coming to Loving Yourself, and it is where I just let God do the writing.
yes, yes.
I just let God do the writing because He gave me the assignment. So I'm like, okay, well, what am I supposed to write about? He said everything. I said everything. He said, yeah, everything from the time you was born that you can remember to the time that you had these three deaths, to that time and after that. So that is my memoir book.
I'm gonna have to
Um,
get it for sure.
Thank you. And the thing is you can't be afraid to tell your story. Can't be afraid of worrying about people's opinions.
Right.
They you know what they say, everybody got one. So
I know what
and
you mean.
and when you had that flow, God give you a vision, it is for you to carry out that vision and to, really sit and not rush. That's the one thing that me writing that first book, it taught me not to rush my writing.
Okay.
It took me 2 years to write the book, 2 years. And it taught me a lot, it taught me a lot to just, and don't second guess yourself. Go with what that feeling is that you're gonna write. You ain't gotta really necessarily write it in that order, verbatim. But
Right.
as long as you take the notes, whether it's a voice memo or you write it down in a notebook or whatever, then gather your thoughts and go and put it together kind of it's like a puzzle.
Right.
It's like a puzzle. So, is that something you dealt with in your writing of your book, putting the book together like a puzzle?
Yes, especially the first book, because that book was individualized chapters that described unhealthy relationships, because I had been through several, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I wrote that very similar to what you described, just here and there. Now, this novel, I would just write for hours at night, and I worked a full-time job. It'd be 4 o'clock in the morning, and I would be like, "Girl, you need to go to sleep because you got to be to work at 9."
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so it
Yeah.
just flows to you. And that's why I needed a good editor, because I did get a comment on the first book. They said, I'm going to give you a 4 out of 5 because it needed a better editor. Not that I can't write, but it's the words flow so quickly. And sometimes you know what you mean to say, but
Yeah.
you need somebody with fresh eyes to look at it.
Yeah. That was another thing I had to get an understanding of, is that read the manuscript before you even press the upload button.
Right.
Read it one more time, even though the editor or proofreader or whoever you have on your team, read it one more time before you decide to upload it. Because then, like print it out. Print it out how many pages. My book was 334 pages.
Okay.
And I printed out all my pages. And I took my time to read it before I uploaded it to Design or wherever I was, whatever, before I hit the publish button. Because that'll save you time and money, and you don't have to spend money twice on the copyright.
Right. Right. Thank you for that. I'm going to work on the next book. And I think going through the doctoral program has taught me to pay more attention to details now.
Mm-hmm.
So that things that I skimmed before.
Mm-hmm.
When they keep turning out, when they keep making you write a paper over and over and over until they can say you can be called doctor, you learn that, like, okay, I got to pay attention to spacing. I got to pay attention to the little things.
Yeah, the formatting.
Yes.
the editing, sentence structure,
Right.
you know, well, you gotta have your punctuations in the right category on the right
Right.
space.
Right.
You know, you gotta have, you know, it's past tense, present tense kind of conversation. And, you know, that is what I found out with my editor was she's like, well, since this book is past tense, you need to write it in past tense form. Because I was writing it in present tense. She said, no, if this is past tense, the stuff already happened. It need to be set in was, you know, that kind of this happened already kind of conversation, you know, so people
Right.
understand. So, what would you tell an author? What advice would you give an author, a first time author?
To definitely let somebody else look at your work and to
Mm-hmm.
be open-minded, because you're going to see what you wrote or you think you wrote, and you
Mm-hmm.
know what you meant to say. But those fresh eyes who are objective, they can see, and they can also see maybe when the sentence structure, you're trying to convey a story. And
Yeah.
if the story is not making sense to them,
Mm-hmm.
then you get that. Accept the feedback. Don't take it personal. Don't feel like you can't write. The best writers
Mm-hmm.
make errors. So yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, Miss Sharise, I tell you what, what I think is funny that I found, because I was writing a novel with so many storylines, I would forget. You have to go back and read the book several times to see, okay, what did Ralph say? And what was the doorman's name? Was his name Jackson? Because in the first book, I hate to admit it, but I'm just real like this, y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
That first copy, he was Jackson at the beginning of the book and Ralph at the end. And I was like, oh my God,
Oh
I
my
didn't realize I
Lord.
did that.
Change the man name. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the
Mm-hmm.
readers asked me about it, I said, well, it was Jackson, but they started calling him Ralph.
Okay, okay.
But it made me realize that you've got to pay attention to those things. And it was a little harder to write a novel to me than a self-help book, because I had to have that continuity or continuingness of the story. And I wrote it over time.
Yeah.
They go back and say, where did I leave off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now was she with her husband or not with her husband?
Yeah, right. So you know, with those type of things, this is how when I wrote when I wrote my memoir and it came to people's names. Of course, when you write a memoir and you put people's names in the book, you know you got to change their names,
Right,
right?
right,
So I had a list. I had a piece of paper. I had a piece of paper, and their real names was written on the left side of the paper. And the name I changed their name to was on the right side of the paper. That's how I could tell who's who.
okay,
You know. So, you know, like you got, you know, you say your character is his name Jackson. Okay, he the doorman. So
right,
that's how I write it, Jackson doorman. Okay, and then you know, all the characters, they have their names and the specific jobs that they do. You
right,
know, things of that nature. So, you know, I tell authors all the time is sometimes it's good to just get your characters together and what their personalities are before you put them in the book.
That's a good
You
point.
know, right? You know, like, okay, Jackson Doorman, he a womanizer. I'm just giving an example. He a
Right,
womanizer. You know, he got 5 million girlfriends and he can't tell the truth worth of nothing. Okay, I'm just saying, you know, and his character is always exaggerating, making himself be out more than what he could be and things like that. And always, you know, work on the characters. I kind of work on, if I ever wrote a book like that, which will be like my fourth, well, I'm gonna say my third book will be a fiction book.
you're
Okay.
fine. You're fine.
And so I'm putting a storyline together where I'm gonna be coming up with different characters. Okay. It will have like kind of like really like real life situations in it,
Right.
but the character, the person will have a different name. Okay, and it'll be, like that. So I get that that is something that we, when we put our books together, it's called character development. I learned that from a young lady that I have as a friend. Her name is Author Latoya Jeter, and she writes Christian fiction books.
Yes.
Christian, those kind of. She writes those kind of books,
Yeah.
and that's what she's taught me about. Put the character together first. Write who they are. Write out all their characteristics, things, like that, and work on character. That's what she's taught me about writing. She said, work on the characters first, then you kind of know where to put them in the storyline, where you put them in storyline, and then they'll come in kind of order like that. And, she says, she reviews, she reads, she does, when it comes to writing in that manner. And so, when do you see yourself publishing your next book?
Possibly 2027, sometime, maybe the latter part of 2027.
Oh, okay.
The thing with when I started writing a novel, I had never written one before, but I had written skits and plays. So in my mind, that it was the only way I knew how to approach it was through, like, it was a skit and a play in a sense. When people who have read it, they've said to me, this will make an excellent screenplay. And that's what I want it to be. And even when I talked about Jackson, who's a doorman, who I can tell you a little bit, he's a veteran, he survived Vietnam, he's an amputee, he's had loss, and he always is telling the main character a little bit of advice when she comes to work. And I think in the next book, he may just turn out to be her angel.
Oh, okay.
So these things just come in my mind, they just develop. I see them on screen almost as I write.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good visual.
Yeah.
That's a good visual concept where you see them on the stage and you see them talking and having a conversation. You right now where she said this or he says this. Right. And then you be like, then you run it into where it's a conversation. They go back and forth without the name. You know how, script, the script is written, everybody line is there. And it's like but you just take the names out and you just put the conversation there,
right. Yeah. Because Shelly is like the rock for her friends and family.
Yes.
She's the go-to person that everybody, expects to be strong. Yeah. But she is wrestling with some results from a lab test from her visit. And so that's how you spend the book going. It's like, what is it? What does she have? Is she going to die? Is she not going to die?
What's wrong with the girl,
And she's hiding it. And she meets a doctor of all people. So how you going to hide a health condition but so long from your new boyfriend that's a doctor?
Her new friend is a doctor.
Yes, man of her dreams. And he's a good man. And then you have her friends that have all this drama that they bring her because they're used to doing it. They're friends from college. And she's cool with it, but they don't know she's going through her own struggles. And so how many people are out there, right, that's in the same situation that people still come to them because they're the rock for them, but they're like, who's going to be their rock?
Like, where everybody at when I need them?
Right. And do you let them know you need them? That's the other problem, right? That strong Black woman syndrome. Like, I got this, but no, you don't.
Right? Like, excuse me, what happened? I thought y'all had my back, and then you kind of, and then it comes to where she may reveal that. Does she ever reveal that in the book about herself that she need help?
She tells a couple of people, right? Because the doc's gonna figure it out. Plus, he has medical friends that she sees, but they can't violate confidentiality.
The HIPAA stuff.
Right, but they still pushing her like, you need to tell him because he's gonna start. He's already questioning that something's wrong. And then there's symptoms that's starting to show. Right. So I take you through the whole book, wondering, is she terminal? What is it? So that keeps you going.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other friends that have so many things going on in their lives, like domestic violence and infidelity and how to be true to your heart. I tackle those things.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you my favorite part is so she meets in the same day she meets this doctor on a happenstance in a meeting because she just decides, and I'm prank. I'm in this part of my life confession. Just live your life, enjoy. Don't worry about Mr. Right. Just live it. You know, I've been married before, I've been divorced, all that. Okay, so she meets him, but then as she's coming out of her meeting to go to her next meeting because she's like an executive.
Yeah.
The supervisor of the valet is an old flame, and he runs into her. And they had a 5-year
Relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't healthy either, but she had a hard time breaking away. And now here he is tempting her.
Okay. All right.
So it really is a Christian book, but I talk about God a lot in the book, but I'm real with it. I don't just make it sound like these people are perfect and they always do what's right. You know, I feel that they're because you got the pastor trying to decide what to do with his life. Because he's separated and pretending, and the wife wants him to pretend that they're together, so they go to church together all the time. But they don't even.
So the wife the pretender.
Yeah, and these are her parents. These are the main character's parents, and the main character's like, I'll just be glad when they go ahead and do what they're
Get
gonna
it together. Get it together, people.
So it's a lot of twists and turns.
Okay.
And
sounds like a really interesting read. So, you know, I'm so glad you came to share. You know, become a guest on Saturday Book Talk Day. And you know, is there anybody have any questions for Miss Audrey about her book, or where can we find the purchase of your book, Miss Audrey?
Amazon is the best place to get it. I mean, I know Jeff Bezos probably got enough money, but that's where it's a bestseller right now. But it's also, you can go on any online outlet and find it. I think I may have learned this from you, but I'm not sure. But someone was talking about bookshop.com. Bookshelf. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's I looked it up.
They're accepting submissions for books to place on the website.
Well, it's already there. That book was on there. I was surprised. Also, Barnes and Nobles. So it's on quite a few sites.
Okay, all right.
But you need to type in my name because one thing I learned, Miss Sharise, is that you can copyright the inside of your book. You can't copyright the title. And so another doctor came behind me and named his book the same thing. And I think his marketing is a little better. So if you don't put my name, his book may pop up. So it needs to have Audrey Blake, even if it's the paper copy or the ebook.
No, I didn't have a problem finding your book.
Okay, well that's good to know.
I typed in Audrey I think I put Audrey Blake, and then I put the title of the book.
Well, that's hopefully that should pull it up. Yes. Yeah. But if you get another book and if it's yellow, that's not my book.
Okay. Miss Peggy asked a question. Miss Peggy says,
what was the hardest part of your I can see it. You want me to read it out?
Yeah.
What was the hardest part of your story to write about? I'm gonna be real with y'all because I gotta write my memoirs one day. I kind of gave her flashbacks to a traumatic, I'm gonna say it, rape experience that she had. Shelly was someplace thinking, and she was flashing back to some of her
essay. We call that essay up here.
Essay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and so she was waiting on to talk to her doctor, and she was fearing her death because she was thinking the worst,
Yeah.
And so that was hard for me to write about. And I didn't get into details because it was hard for me to write about. But you'll figure out that, okay, something traumatic happened to Shelly. in her past, and she's thinking about all of the things she's been through in life, and now she might be facing a terminal illness.
Oh, okay.
So that was not easy to write, but most of the rest of it was pretty easy.
Okay. All right. Well, I wanted to, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Saturday Book Talk Day. And our special guest today is Audrey Blake. And she's the author of Dying
To wake up.
Dying to Wake Up. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Dying to Wake Up. And her book is available on the Zon. Do you have it available anywhere else?
Barnes and Nobles, and there are still a few actual soft covers available, because that was the first one I really released and really promoted. But again, if you want a soft cover, it's there. But I rewrote it as an ebook, and
Okay.
that's the one that people are buying.
Okay. So what you may want to do, you want to change and put everything. Okay, this is my brain working.
Okay.
So when you changed everything, turned it into an ebook, did you change everything for the paperback?
I haven't yet. That is because I had a different publisher. I did. The ebook looks totally different from the paperback, though. I redesigned it all. So the ebook, you probably can't see it because everything shows up backwards, but the ebook looks like this.
Okay. All right. So
yes.
What you're gonna have to do is change that. Go back into and change the paperback to the new book, into the form for.
I can make it look like this.
Yes. Okay. And you may want to give it another ISBN number.
Perhaps you and I can talk because
Okay.
I don't want to deal with my previous publishers.
We'll talk.
I didn't have the best.
Okay, we'll talk.
Yes.
But Miss Audrey, I thank you so much for joining us. Anybody else got any questions for her before we close this? Before we close the live? Hello, Louis. How are you doing? Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I greatly appreciate everyone coming in and spending time with us. Hey, Manager Isaac. Hello, Wexia. Thank you for everyone joining. King Marvin's says, hey. I'm looking back at the kind of conversation. Hey, Miss Peggy been up. Miss Peggy, hey, Miss Shannon, Miss Pamela, Miss Ashley, Matthew, Quavera. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining us. We greatly appreciate you coming in. Does anybody else have any questions? Like I said, you can go to the Zon, you can go to BNN, you can go to the Black, what do you call that? The Black Bookstore, bookshelf, Black Bookshelf, right? And purchase her book. And so, are you doing anything coming up, events or programs or anything you want to tell us about?
Haven't lined up anything yet. Just that I have my own not podcast, but I do a live on here from time to time. I'm kind of new at it, but people do join me and I do readings, a little excerpts from the book. But I'll tell you if it's a spoiler alert, right? So I can give you that. So I don't want for people who don't want to know it yet.
Okay. All right. Okay. You going to any events, any programs coming up?
I have to line some things up.
Okay.
So, yeah. I used to do book signings and things, but I'm just getting right back into it again. Because honestly, I just became a doctor a couple of years ago, and so I had to kind of put this aside. And that's when people kept saying, when are you going to write the next book? And I'm like, let me finish my dissertation.
First, can I get my education first, please?
Yeah, so I have a little time on my hands now.
Yes.
And so I can get back to doing what I love.
All right. I want to
thank you for having me.
welcome.
I'm so appreciative of that.
You're welcome. And I come up here 7 days a week.
Okay. So
7 days a week at 6 p.m. every day, Eastern Standard Time. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. Each day I talk about something different. So Monday is Education Day. Tuesday is Storytelling Day.
Okay.
Wednesday is maybe another education day. Thursday is another education day. Friday is Entrepreneur Corners Day, Freedom Friday.
Okay.
Where all entrepreneurs, doesn't matter what the category you're an entrepreneur in, they come and talk about their business, their products and services that they sell, and where they can be found, purchased, things of that nature. Um, Saturday is every day is a Saturday book talk day. Now, if I have a guest, I have a guest. I do not, but I'm still gonna have my Saturday book talk day. Okay. Sunday is my Coming to Loving Yourself reading day, where I read, actually read the pages in the book. So I've already done a couple of segments of that. I've already done a couple segments of reading. And I also give dialogue when I read about this section or what this means and things like that. It's not an excerpt, it's a straight reading. From one page, you read like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, I normally break the chapters up into two viewing days. Like one day it'll be half of chapter 3, and next Saturday it'll be the rest of chapter 3, and kind of do it like that. And then I just start the routine all over again, you know, but I'm always posting about stuff I do. I always make it I had to learn how to discipline myself when it came to this author stuff. And being an author it's a full-time job. Don't let nobody tell you it ain't.
Yes.
Okay? Because you always learning stuff. You always learning stuff new. You always, new people, new places, new things, new ventures, new things to get into, new people to meet that can broaden your exposure and your visibility. So, that's what I kind of like to do for authors. I have another show entitled Entrepreneur Corners Live, where that is done through my Riverside app. It's done on my computer, and it has an investment fee along with that. Where it's like we're sitting on the computer, we talking, and side by side, just like this, and it goes out to all of my social media platforms. Okay. So I do a wide range of things like that. And then I have a podcast called The More Connection. So I take the interview that you do on Entrepreneur Corners Live and also make it an audio broadcast. Okay, where I make a commercial for you. I make an audio commercial, 2 flyers, audio commercial, 2 audiograms. I just give you, exposure. I even write up a newsletter article about the person appearing on the show. And I send it out to all my people that get my newsletter. And so, I created that show because a long time, I'll say when I first became an author, I couldn't find no shows to be on. Like, where all the shows at, And then after I created, the first show I created was called Authors Excerpt Sunday.
Okay.
So I did that. I did it through Zoom. It got on my nerves where I had to download the video, then I got upload, then I got to add my intro, outro, video. I had to do all that. But anyway, that was where I started doing, because I couldn't find them for myself, so I just started doing my own lives. Yes. Let me talk about my book. Let me, let me put myself out there, because that's a lot of things that a lot of authors do not realize. They have to do their own visibility. They can't leave it up to the publishing company. They can't leave it up to, I just put this book over here on the Zon. It's going to be a bestseller. It's going to go viral. And you're not advertising it. You're not talking about it. You're not doing no interviews. You're not doing anything. And it's like, then you want to sit around and complain to me, I ain't making no sales. Right. Hello, it's more to being an author than just throwing that on the Zon, KDP, digital to draft to digital. It's more than just putting it on distribution channels and leaving it there and you're not talking about it. So and now I've had like 9 years in business. 9 years in business. It started with the first book, and it has escalated to a whole media company. So, and the thing is I love helping authors. I love helping authors with their visibility, being seen. I also have a course called Publish Now What. That is through, I tried to launch it. Yes, I've had some failures over the years, but some God told me not to give up on that course. It's on Teachable. And it's like an evergreen. I was going, first I had this big launch. Everybody gonna come in, everybody gonna buy, everybody gonna join, and only 4 people showed up. So I was like, well, okay, I'll just put that to the side. But then God gave me another vision for, look, take these products, some of these products that they get in this course, and sell them as individual PDFs. So that's what I do now. I haven't pulled all of the stuff out that course because there's a lot in there. Learning, instruction, teaching, PDFs and things to help authors. I have a few things, but I plan on releasing the rest of the stuff, as sell them as digital products. So, go with what God asked you to do. He gave you something else to do. Sit down, plan it out. Be strategic. And a closed mouth don't get fed. If you need help, let me know.
Will do. Well, I appreciate you. You doing some phenomenal things. I know it's not a coincidence that I came across your live, and we'll definitely be in touch.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Is there anything you would like to say before I close out to the audience?
No, just ask people to buy the book, and I'm thinking I might do a live later on tonight. I'm very spontaneous, so I might do a live reading of an excerpt tonight and talk about some topics. Probably about 9 because I need a break.
Okay, all right. Look, you've been working all day.
I've been spending some me time, getting nails done and stuff like that. And so I need to eat.
Right? Gotta get some nourishment. Okay, Miss Audrey, thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Sharise.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna put you back down the audience.
Sounds good.
So you won't lose your points, okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being in. Thank you, Miss Audrey, for being our special guest for the evening. I greatly appreciate you coming in and sharing your book. Sharing your book. Her book is available on the Zon, BNN, the Black Bookshelf store. It is available there, and y'all go get your copy today, okay? All right, I will see y'all tomorrow back here, same black time, same black station at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to have the Coming to Loving Yourself live reading tomorrow at 6 p.m., okay? I love you all. Deuces.